Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to give you our full card initial thoughts, initial picks on UFC Fight Night, Brandon Moreno versus Steven Erceg. We're right in the main event right now of Leon Edwards and Sean Brady. It's been a pretty lackluster card, a night of a lot of underdogs. So we're going to jump on this and drop this early for you. First fight of the night, we got Jamal Emmers, 20-8 versus Gabriel Miranda, 17-7. Obviously, Gabriel Miranda, 16 submissions. This guy is always looking for the submission. If he can't get it, he's going to lose. Jamal Emmers is a well-rounded fighter. He should be able to potentially knock Gabriel out, to be honest. And he's a good enough grappler in his own right that I don't think he should get caught in any submissions. I think Gabriel Miranda, to be honest, probably should not be in the UFC anymore. And you know, these one-trick jiu-jitsu guys, they more often than not lose in modern day MMA, and he's not like a young one at that. So give me Jamal Emmers. What do you think?
I think the same thing. Gabriel Miranda's shown pretty much zero striking in 3 matches. The one fight he won in the UFC was against Shane Young, and he won that by rear naked choke. His specialty, jiu-jitsu. But he's been shown to have a weak chin. What's his name to pounded him out in the last fight? Morgan Charrier. And we watched Morgan Charrier today not be able to finish goddamn Nathaniel Wood, who showed the greatest chin I've ever seen him show in his entire life. And I mean, I picked it, but like still, I expected it to be a different way. But Cherry's got power. I get it. Miranda, is he like the weak chin? Now Jamal Emmers is the epitome of like I don't know what the hell is gonna happen. He's a very good wrestler. He's a very good striker, but he never puts it together, and he loses fights. The judges don't like him. It's so weird. But honestly, to God, he should be the more well-rounded fighter in this fight, and he should win the fight anywhere. So
Yeah,
I'm picking Jamal Emmers. I don't have odds for it, but I'm picking Jamal Emmers.
absolutely. Next fight of the night, we got Rafa Garcia, 16-4 versus Vince Pichel, 14-4. Garcia coming in at a minus 450, Pichel plus 350. These odds are wide considering these fighters are, to be honest, almost spitting images of each other. I mean, I think Garcia is almost a Pichel of 10 years ago. I mean, Pichel was a tough guy. He's a well-rounded fighter. He does have decent grappling chops. He is a tough guy who can stand and trade without getting knocked out. Like, I mean, he's a well-rounded veteran, put it that way. But he's 42 years old, and Garcia is much younger. He's going to be the stronger guy. He's going to be the faster guy. Age matters at the lightweight division. I mean, 42 you can get away with in the heavyweight division where it's, you know, just one shot can end the fight. But in a division like this, such a high pace, speed kills, Garcia is just going to be a little bit too much for him. I think minus 450 is wide, but I think Garcia wins. So definitely Garcia. What do you think?
Definitely Garcia. I think he's younger. I think he's faster. I honestly think he holds the grappling edge here. Pichel, like, it's just like he's tough as hell, but he's never really had good volume. And as he's getting older, he really doesn't have any better volume. Alpha Garcia is it's an epitome of like which half is going to show up from fight to fight. Sometimes he uses the wrestling, which is good. Sometimes he uses the striking, which is good. I think he wins anywhere here. Minus 450, wide. But I think it's warranted. I think he's the better fighter here. I honestly think Pichel's durable enough to go half a Garcia by decision, though.
All right. Next fight of the night, we got Lupi Godinez coming in at minus 170, 12-5 record, taking on Julia Polastri, 13-4, coming back at plus 140. I think these are actually pretty good odds on Lupi, probably because, you know, she's so frustrating. Like, honestly, I can't stand her. I'm rooting for Julia to win, but I don't think she does. I think the odds on Lupi are pretty decent, and I think Lupi by decision will probably be what wins her the fight here. Don't like her though. Like I said, the reason for it is, you know, she comes in with this huge wrestling background and she very rarely uses it. She's kind of fallen in love with being a wrestle boxer, more of stuff to takedowns and kind of throw hands. But it's not like she's an amazing striker either. So I mean, I don't know. I find her a very frustrating fighter because when she should wrestle, she doesn't. When she does wrestle, she shouldn't. Like I don't know. I think she wins by decision, and I think there's decent odds on her. But I will be rooting for Julia. What do you think?
It's which Loopy shows up. The odds decent on Loopy because she's all these other fights that she's had. Honestly, the odds to this should be like 250 minus 300. She's a way better fighter. She has way more experience. She should be the better boxer. I mean, Polastri showed a pretty good amount of boxing against McKenna, but McKenna's very hittable. But McKenna got taken down in the last round of that fight. And I mean, like, if our friend Loopy would actually use her Olympic style wrestling to just mix in with the strikes, if you know what I mean. So, man, these odds are really good on Loopy. She has all the experience. She is the more well-rounded fighter. She is the better striker. But sometimes it's low volume. Sometimes he has good volume. Like, I don't know what shows up. And for that reason, it's a very hard fight to bet on. But I am taking Loopy because, like, all in all, the skills wise, she's got this girl covered.
All right. Next fight of the night, we got Melky Costa, 22-7, taking on the prospect killer Christian Rodriguez, 12-2. Rodriguez coming in at -160. Costa coming back at +130. Rodriguez looked phenomenal last fight. He can sometimes be kind of soft, and like his gas tank is a little bit questionable. Like, but when he is on, he is the more skilled fighter here for sure. Obviously, Costa's path to victory is going to be taking him down and grinding it out and riding it out from the top position. So, I mean, if you're on Costa, it's going to be a decision because there's no way he's going to knock Rodriguez out. I don't think he's going to tap out Rodriguez. So his only path to victory is laying on him for 3 rounds. And man, Rodriguez is some damn good scrambles. Very good at sweeps, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, Rodriguez is the more talented fighter, I believe. And if he's in shape, he wins this fight, I believe. And I think the odds are pretty bang on. So give me C-Rod. What do you think?
Yeah, I think C-Rod's the more well-rounded fighter. Now, my problem with C-Rod is that like he starts so goddamn slow and Melky starts so goddamn fast, right? So Melk by himself, he's not a bad fighter. He showed that he had pretty good takedown defense against Andre Fili. Um, he's got a good submission game. We know C-Rod's durable as hell. This all bounce for a really good fight. But Melk, I don't think he takes down C-Rod too much, so he's gonna want to strike with him. C-Rod, for my issue, my one issue with him is like sometimes he doesn't take advantage of his like skills and he kind of sits back, kind of like Chris Padilla did today. Somehow won a decision. I don't know how. But yeah, sort of like that. But man, -160 for a guy that has been against some of the killers like Bulgarian and stuff in here and like was it Jonathan Pierce? He went the full way with Pierce. Like, I don't know if Melky can handle that. Um, I don't like the striking because Melky comes from back here. It's not very crisp, right? And for all intents and purposes, Andre Fili wasn't fighting a bad fight, and he got caught in a guillotine, which is tough. I can't see Christian Rodriguez getting caught in a guillotine after not getting tapped by goddamn Raul Rosas in a fight where he absolutely was stymied in the first round, right? So you can't tell me that Mel Costa has a better ground game than Raul Rosas does. I mean, Christian Rodriguez is bound to maybe lose the first round, but I think he comes back strong. I like the odds on him. I'm gonna go with the prospect here. Let's go.
All right. Next fight of the night, we got a new prospect, Atiba Gautier, 6-1, taking on Jose Medina, 11-4. Gautier coming in, oh, excuse me, at -550, Medina +400. Odds are super wide. I don't like betting prospects at crazy odds like that. I mean, obviously they suggest this guy's winning all his fights by knockout. First of all, like if you look through his record, he's just flatlining guys. So I mean, the odds suggest he's going to knock him out, and I'm going to pick that as my pick. I'll say he probably continues that, but the odds are too wide for me to bet it on someone I haven't seen do it at the UFC level. But give me Gautier by knockout. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, give me based on what I've seen, yeah, give me Gautier by knockout. But you got to remember who he was up against, yeah. But like Jose Medina, like, well, he's shown to be a tough guy, but you know, the two fights he's had in the UFC, he's pretty much got taken down multiple times. I don't know if this Gautier guy is going to do that. I know what kind of game this Gautier guy has. All I've seen is the highlights where he's just flatlining people, like you said. So, you know what? I think if I get a good knockout line on him, I'll go for that. But otherwise, I'm going to just stay away from this fight. I think he should flatline Medina. Depending on his gas tank, he probably decisions Medina. If this stays on the feet, I think he's the better striker. Medina showed me nothing that, you know, like what was it, Carlos Vera a couple of weeks ago where he said, well, you know, if he gets this on the ground, he's gonna tap this guy out. Like, I haven't seen the skills from Medina to even try to even think that he's gonna pull off something like that as such a big underdog. So yeah, give me Gautier.
All right. Next fight of the night, we got Edgar Chairez, 11-6, coming in at -250 versus CJ Vergara, 12-6-1, coming back at +200. I actually really like Edgar Chairez in this spot. I think not only does he have a fantastic submission game, his striking actually looked really good the last couple fights. He's really, really improved in that area. And for me, CJ Vergara gets rocked in every goddamn fight, and he just manages to get through it and catch a second win and kind of win by grinding it out or whatever. But I think he has like no path in this fight, to be honest. Like I feel really, really good about Edgar, and I actually believe he's going to finish this fight. I think he's going to club him. He's gonna club and sub. I think he's going to hurt him. He's going to get CJ's going to do the chicken dance like he always does. He's going to be rocks and stumbling all over the place, and then give me Chairez to choke him out. I'm going to jump on this bet early because I assume that this line is going to move. Maybe I'm crazy, but I really like Edgar in this spot. What do you think?
I really like Edgar in this spot too, and the line's not too super crazy. It's at -200, but it's a warranted -200 because whereabouts is he lose this fight? Like he has the better ground game. I think he has the better takedowns. I think he's the better striker. For all intents and purposes, like he was out striking and outlanding Joshua Van until Joshua Van took that fight over. He's fought the better fighters. He went the whole decision with Tatsuro Taira and didn't get tapped out. Like that's a big thing, right? Tatsuro Taira is a very good fighter. You think CJ Vergara goes the whole way with Tatsuro Taira? Not a fucking chance, man. This is the same guy that got knocked out by what's his name? I can't even remember. It wasn't even that good. So, man, I mean, skill for skill. What does Vergara do good? I've said this before.
Eat a punch.
Yeah,
Doesn't even
I
do
don't
it good
know,
because he's
man. I
always
don't know
rocked.
what he does good.
Buddy,
There's
he
nothing that he
grinds.
does good. You know what? Chairez has showed the durability, and he's not going to get knocked out. And that fight against Josh Van, I know he kind of slows down as the fight goes, and that's
Josh
one
Van's a
thing.
killer.
Yeah, but Josh Van's a killer, so he was up against killers, right? So whatever, man. I think he's skill for skill. This I pick the more well-rounded fighter all the time, and I think Chairez is the more well-rounded fighter.
Yeah, I think he's potentially the most confident pick on this card, to be honest. Next
Yep.
fight of the night, we got Ronaldo Rodriguez, 17-2, coming in as a pretty hot prospect here. I mean, he's got a ton of finishes, appears to be well rounded. He can do it with submissions, he can do it with strikes. Kevin Borjas, 9-3. The odds here, we got Rodriguez -150, Borjas +125. Borjas coming off of 2 losses, but man, tough fighters. This guy's been fed to the wolves, so I mean, he's not a bad fighter by any means. This is a very interesting fight. I think this is a great test for Rodriguez. And I think it is a close fight. I think Borges, like I said, yes, he's lost his last 2 fights, so it's hard to think he's going to beat an up and comer who's finishing everybody. But who has this up and comer fought? Nobody of the caliber that Kevin Borges has been fighting. So this fight feels like a trap to me. I would not. I'm just enjoying this one. There will be no betting this fight for me. What do you think?
Well, Rodriguez is Mexican, so you know if Borges wins, it's going to be by decision. So if you guys like the Borges side, I would take Borges by decision. Um, the fight against Ode Osborne, if you looked at it, it was pretty damn close with Rodriguez and Ode Osborne. He did squeak out a decision there. I mean, he showed a lot of grit against Denise Bondar. He didn't show very good takedown defense, mind you, though. He got taken down 4 times and ended up subbing him on the ground as well. So we know this guy's a tough guy. So these are two strikers going at it. Before Kevin Borges came to the UFC, in his he was known as a pretty decent striker, right? So striking is pretty good. So I think he could really put up volume here. So and if he puts up volume on Rodriguez, he might win a decision. So I mean, it feels like a trap. I mean, personally, I think that Borges has a very good chance to win this fight. I'm gonna pick Rodriguez because I think he's a little bit more well-rounded, but I wish he would use the ground game a little bit more. Um, but my biggest lean in this fight is the fight goes to decision because if Borges is holding distance, is outstriking him, but he's Mexican. I always bet on the Mexican chin, bud. So that's the way I'm gonna see this fight going.
Yep. Next fight of the night, we got David Martinez, 11-1, taking on Simon Oliveira, 18-5. Martinez, I believe, is a huge favorite. Yeah, -400 favorite. He should get it done. He should be fine everywhere. He's just going to be too quick, too strong. But the odds are wide, and I don't like betting on guys that I haven't seen a whole lot of. So I'm just going off of what I see here on the stats and a little bit of YouTube videos I've watched. I mean, I'm going to say Martinez wins, but I save your money, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, same thing, man. I think save your money. Simon Oliveira has shown that he can be outstruck in a lot of fights. What's his name again? David Martinez has shown that he can strike. Oh shit, Sean Brady just won by submission. Damn, there
Round
goes.
three?
Yeah,
Four? Three?
3 or 4. Yeah, yeah. Oh well. Yeah, Simon. Yeah, man, you can't outstrike this guy. I don't think, and he's shown a propensity to be taken down as well. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't see any path of victory for him. Odds are wide. I'll probably pass this fight because this is Buddy's debut in the UFC. So I'm going to go with our buddy David Martinez, but so just a lean.
All right. Next fight, we got Raul Rosas Jr. taking on Vince Morales, 10-1 versus 16-9. I'm going to assume Rosas is a big minus 334 favorite, coming back at plus 250 on Vince Morales. This is a fight where very comfortable fight for Raul. Like I'm not that big on him in general. Like I am waiting to fade him. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the right matchup. But this seems like a matchup where he should be safe pretty much everywhere. Like I don't even think on the feet he's in trouble. Like I think he's okay everywhere here. I think he's probably the better wrestler, the better grappler, faster, stronger, and I think he'll be fine even on the feet, to be honest. So this isn't the spot to fade him. I think he's still okay here. What do you think?
Yeah, same. I think it's not the spot to fit him. I mean, Vincent, his last fight against Elijah Smith, he showed that he wants to go to the ground a little bit, and he's a tough guy and stuff like that. But like going to the ground with Raul is probably a mistake in this fight, a very big mistake. He's also shown that he can get taken down. So Raul always pushes the grappling. Like I've never seen a fight with Raul where he hasn't pushed the grappling. The striking has looked a little bit better over the last couple fights, mind you. So there's only up from Raul. He was a 19-year-old prospect when he fucking hit the scene, right? So, his grappling was already A1. All he has to really do is work on his striking, but use his grappling. So, Vince has shown that he can get taken down. I don't see any resistance from him. I think Raul by submission round one, probably more than likely.
All right, next fight of the night, featured fight. We got Calvin Gastelum coming in at plus 400. Very wide odds here. 19-9 records, taking on Joe Pyfer, 13-3, coming back at minus 550. Crazy odds to me. Now listen, Calvin Gastelum has let everybody down. I'm sure he's let his family down. Like the guy's just never lived up to his potential because he does have the skills, but I mean, he's so inconsistent. Gas tank issues, weight issues, even takedown defense should be much better than it's shown. I mean, like he just has all the skills and he's let us down so many times, and I think that's why the odds are so wide. However, I think Calvin Gastelum is at his best in matchups where he's completely countered out, and at his best in matchups with guys that will strike with him. Like I think when you take him down, there's a very clear path for Joe Pyfer here. I think Joe Pyfer probably can take him down, and he probably is the better grappler. I mean, the guy has been doing grappling matches, and he has been winning grappling matches, winning those grappling matches. So, I mean, I think Joe Pyfer's best route, honestly, here is to take him down. And the reason being is Calvin has a concrete head, man. When do you see this guy knocked out? I feel like he thrives in matchups that people want to strike with him. Like he does way better than he should in those matches that become kickboxing matches. And if that happens, Joe Pyfer has gassed before. Joe Pyfer can be hurt. I mean, if I knew Joe would wrestle, I'm taking Joe Pyfer all day. I don't think Joe Pyfer is as good as people think he is. I don't think he's as smart as people think he is. And even though, yes, he has all the tools to win this fight, and I guess he should win the fight, at these odds, it's a dog or pass play for me. And not a parlay piece. It's not some confident hot take and hot pick. I just think Calvin thrives in these kind of matchups. If Joe wants to strike with him, Calvin can have more success than the odds suggest. What do you think?
Actually, so that was my one underdog too, man. I mean, yo, how does Kelvin Gastelum lose? By sub or by decision? By sub or by decision? That's how he loses. That's how he loses. So if this fight is elongated any way past, say, a round and a half, I have no clue if Joe Pyfer is going to throw enough volume to beat Kelvin Gastelum. We have seen Kelvin Gastelum in many fights throw upwards of 100 strikes in just 3 rounds. We've seen him do that all the time. We see him take punches and come back stronger. The guys that beat him are the Sean Brady's. Those guys that take him down. That's how he loses, man. So Jack Hermanson showed a nice little game plan against Joe Pyfer. Stay to the outside, used the takedown here and there, and outstruck him. I think that same game plan's in play here. The first round's going to be a little dicey, and we all know that when Joe comes out in that first round, it's going to be a little dicey. But man, people don't finish Kelvin Gastelum on the feet, and that was my thing too. If Joe's willing to wrestle, like you said, go ahead. But I've seen him wrestle one time in the UFC, once, and now how many
Like,
fights is that? So I don't know.
I don't think Kelvin Gastelum would be plus 400 against the champions. Like, so I just
Well,
think
this is I think
the
this is just
odds
like
are
a
crazy.
no, you're right though, but I think it's just like a thing over Gastelum's on his way down, Joe's on his way up. He's been knocking guys out. Kelvin's been losing these close matches, but he's been fighting the best guys, man. Maybe not D-Rod in the last fight, but the guys that before that he lost to were Robert Whitaker and Sean Brady. Sean Brady just tapped out fucking Leon Edwards, and Robert Whitaker is Robert fucking Whitaker, right? So at these odds, there is no way you cannot stab. I don't think you can't stab Kelvin Gastelum.
Yeah, I assume those odds are going to change. If you're on the Gastelum side, I would get in while you can because I assume just being an Ultimate Fighter winner, a fan favorite, money will come in on him, and that line will tighten a little bit. All right, co-main of the evening. We got Manuel Torres, 15-3, taking on Drew Dober, 27-14. Weird fighters to be in the co-main, but I think it's because it's just a guaranteed knockout. Like this fight, or a guaranteed finish. It's fireworks. It's flip a coin. It is all the things. Obviously, we just seen both of these guys get finished. They're just both fun fighters, man. Drew Dober has done it so many times, so I mean, you can never count Drew Dober out. I feel like, you know, for that giant chin and the punishment he's been taking, and like some of his wins, he's walked through hell to land his power because he hits hard as hell. I don't know if he can continue to take the punishment he's taken. So I'm going to assume his durability is down, and then he's just at such a disadvantage here with the size difference, the length difference. I don't know if he's going to be able to close that pocket and get in on Torres. Now, Torres, notorious gasser too, man. This guy is such a strong starter, and if things don't go his way quick, like he fizzled out very fast in the last fight there. I love Drew Dober. I hope Drew Dober pulls it off. My only call for this fight is under 1.5. Like it's somebody is going to get sparked quick. Torres doesn't have the cardio to go to. I think if it goes to the second round, Drew Dober knocks him out, and Torres is definitely live for the first round finish. So I mean, I might even stab a Torres first round if you're getting some crazy number on it. I don't know. Very, very, very fun fight. There's a reason that it's the odds are 110, 110. Like it is a 50-50 fight. If you are that confident that one guy finishes the other, I think you're crazy because they both have the ability to put each other's lights out. What do you think?
Well, I lean Torres here because of the intangibles, the 3-inch reach advantage. I think he has a better ground game than Drew Dober if he wants to go that route. And so Torres was on a tear until he went up against Bahamondes, right? So Bahamondes is one of the only guys that can match this guy in size, right? So he's tall, lanky striker, big, long reach, right?
Durable too.
Durable too, right? Exactly. Little their Latino chin he's got on him. Drew Dober, I mean, he has lost 3 of his last 4. He got flatlined by Frivola. Not a good look. Moicano did Moicano things on him, and then he lost that last fight against Silva. Not a bad look. Obviously, he has fought the harder guys. I'm not gonna deny that. But like you said, man, the durability hasn't looked the same in the last 3 or 4 fights. The Frivola fight really telling, right? Because like he's on honestly, Drew Dober's a better fighter than Matt Frivola. I think wholeheartedly, but like he got knocked out. He wants to get in a firefight. You want to get in a firefight, man, El Torres. I think Torres is probably the faster guy here. I think he is the rangier guy here. And yes, he is a gasser, but you know, Drew slows down too as fights goes on. But he's not a gasser. He has heart as shit. But I'm gonna go with the younger, taller, bigger reach knockout artist. I'm gonna go Manuel Torres, round 2 knockout.
All right, there you go. And that takes us to our main event. We got Brandon Moreno taking on Steve Erceg. Moreno 22-8-2, Erceg 12-3. Moreno coming in as the minus 188 favorite. Steve Erceg coming back at plus 162. I had high hopes for Steve Erceg, man. I thought he came out and looked fantastic in his first few fights there in the UFC. Obviously, a very good grappler. And then he actually scored a knockout win, and you're like, all right, maybe the guy can strike now too. Like he's got all the tools, and then getting sparked by Kai Kara France. Ouch. Now, don't get me wrong. KKF's a good fighter. I mean, there's no shame in it. I mean, he is a striker. I mean, so whatever. You got caught by a good striker. It happens. The problem with this fight, um, I don't know. I think Moreno, he's too good of a grappler to get submitted by Steve Erceg, I believe. I mean, and I expect this will hit the ground at some point, but I don't think you're going to see a submission in this fight. Erceg's obviously a very good grappler. I don't think Erceg's getting tapped, and I don't think Moreno's getting tapped. So then it becomes a striking match. Moreno is so inconsistent because he's had fights where he looked god awful. I forget who it was. Maybe it was Brandon Royval, the last one, or something. Like his striking looked terrible, and then he rebounded very nicely last fight. So it's what Moreno are we getting? I'm gonna have to assume it's the best version, and if it's the best Brandon Moreno, I guess he decisions Steve Erceg. If it's the best version of Brandon Moreno, but that one fight of striking was so bad. I can't get that fight out of my head. If he comes in with those god awful hands, but then his hands look great against Figgy too. Just so inconsistent. So it's hard to say what you're getting here. I think at his best for best, I think Brandon Moreno would decision Steve Erceg, probably similar to the way Pantoja did. What do you think?
Yeah, so that's how we broke down that last fight against Albazi. It's like it was a really close fight. Albazi had the day, whatever. Prime for prime, who wins? I think prime for prime, Brandon Moreno beats Steve Erceg. Sorry, Erceg. I don't think he'll take him down. And if he does take him down, he won't be there for very long. Brandon has really good scrambles. My problem with Erceg on the feet, he leaves himself a little bit too wide open. He had a granite chin until he got knocked out by Kai Kara France in that last fight. So I don't think Brandon Moreno carries that same power as Kai Kara France, so he's not going to knock him out. But Steve Erceg leaves himself open. He gets outstruck all the time, right? I mean, against his competition, like Pantoja, I think outstruck him in that fight. Also got taken down 9 times. I think Brandon Moreno could take him down if he has to, if he wants to. But even in that fight, you said that he looked kind of crappy in the Royval fight. He still
His
had,
hands looked awful that fight.
yeah, yeah, he did. It didn't look great. I rewatched it the other day, and he still landed about 110 significant strikes, right? So you're looking at a guy that landed 132 against Albazi, was defensively sound against Albazi, and he landed another 145 against Pantoja, and even lost that fight. So I mean, he doesn't have the power to knock out Erceg. I know that for a fact. So I think for a fact this is going to decision. And I think it's going to be a volume-based decision. And who throws the most volume? It's Brandon Moreno. And like, does Steve Erceg throw anything with hardcore power? Who do you knock out? What's his name? Buddy
No.
with the bad chin. Matt
Match
Schnell,
now.
right? Yeah, that was it. So yeah, I mean, he doesn't knock out any decent fighters, I don't think, because I honestly think Steve Erceg doesn't throw the best amount of volume, and yeah, he threw like 112 in that match against Pantoja, but I think he was forced to because of the pace
It's a
that
5 round
Pantoja.
fight too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's the mean. So what is that? But this is a 5 round fight as well. But like it's because Pantoja pushed the pace. If Brandon looks like he did in that last fight against Albazi, and he actually pushes the pace on this fight, which he should, because I probably think he can push the pace. And then you know what? He's gonna outstrike him in a volume striking match. So give me Brandon Moreno by decision.
I agree for now, for sure. All right, guys, there you have it. That is our initial thoughts on this card. Obviously, it's still Saturday. We're fresh off the Leon Edwards submission loss. In a few days, I think usually Wednesday the props come out. Tuesday or Wednesday the props come out. We will drop our prop video on Thursday. So we'll take a look at the numbers. We'll do more due diligence. We'll look at the props. We'll look at the numbers, and we will give you our bets on Thursday. See you then. Talk soon.